You're almost been describing a situation where leadership can be taught versus born with. Um,
Right.
and what's your comments on that?
Yeah. My belief is that leadership is a calling that not all of us should choose, and often companies use it as a way to retain people, or people use it as a way to get paid more. Those are not necessarily great reasons to go and choose to lead. Um, I'm also somebody who learned leadership through praxis. So putting what I was learning into motion and then getting feedback on it in loops was kind of how I learned. It's just that those loops took a lot longer without the benefit of any tools. And so my belief is you have to have the orientation to want to lead. You have to be compelled to want to lead and not just feel like it's the only way to go and get paid more money in your career path. And if you choose to do that, then obviously there are ways to get better at it. And so I don't think that leadership is a gift that some of us have and some of us don't. And I think that's kind of maybe what's
Or
behind your
something to
question.
aspire to in some cases, right?
Yeah, well, exactly. It's not always something to aspire to, right? Many of the greatest leaders are usually the people who are willing to do the work that nobody else wants to do, you know? And so I think you have to be really, in your guts, feel like it's the thing that you want to do, feel like you want to be able to work with people, feel like you have, the opportunity, you feel like you can create storytelling and all the kind of leadership skills that you can use to try and help people work together on a mission that you think is important.
And if you're talking to the wrong individual, sometimes like in a management position, right? So when you try to convince one of your employees to take up a leadership position, I've seen it
Mm,
before where that conversation can turn really ugly because the individual is so scared of the word leader that I have to lead. And the word
mm,
leader, by definition, it means you have to carry responsibilities,
mm,
not just one, many in
mm,
some cases.
mm,
And that causes a burden on people. And so, for that matter, this is where if you're made for this job, you're going to embrace it. You're going to say, "Wow, hallelujah! I've been waiting for this for many years, and here it
mm.
comes." And for those who are voluntold in some cases, they get really upset about this one. What do you think of that?
It's true, the Chartered Institute of Managers in the UK surveyed 3,500 managers in 2023, and they found that 82% of managers consider themselves to be accidental managers, people who have just arrived here by some happenstance. They're not quite sure exactly how they encountered this, but now they're all of a sudden that word leadership is being used to describe them. And it wasn't necessarily something they chose, nor is it something they feel like they've been adequately supported to. I also think at a societal level, we hero leadership in this way. We create so much societal value around the idea of leadership that it's almost like, well, why would you not want to go and be a leader? Everyone says that. Why would you not want to go and be at the top of the pyramid? Why would you not? And actually, that feels like an unfair way to characterize leadership. And I think there are some people for whom they've become a leader and realize they are in retrospect, and they just realize that you kind of look over your shoulder and you realize that you're leading some people. That's great if you feel like you have the stomach for it. There are some people who've been thrust into position and maybe shouldn't. And my belief is it's not for everyone.
It's
It's a
not for
choice you
everyone,
have
no.
to actively make, right? And
100%, it's not for everyone.
it's not for everyone. And I think choosing to make it the default career path feels wrong to me if you think about it from first principles.
I think from the outside looking in, for those who are not in leadership position, and they look at a leader, they see the some sliver of glamour in it.
The
Uh,
glamour, yeah.
yeah, but the end result is when they get into the position, they realize, oh, I'm a servant to everybody else. Then
Yes,
what?
that's right. Then what do you
Disappointment.
do? Yeah, it's so disappointing, isn't it? When you suddenly find out that when you're leading people, that comes with a whole load of admin for a start, and then it comes with all of this internal work that you have to do to try and understand how you're perceived, and how your own individual leadership needs to show up. And actually that forces you to kind of look inward in a way that some people, I think, it's really uncomfortable. But also some people are just so good at the job. They should continue to do the job that they're doing and not necessarily be leading folks. And I think those who are the best at their individual contributor role, we need to create more pathways, more ways for individuals who are amazing at their technical proficiency to be able to continue to do that further up the chain, to earn more money, to be able to take on more responsibility without feeling like it all has to converge into this idea of leadership.
Absolutely.